Welcome to NOLA Home and Harmony Collective. I'm Rebecca Lonan, owner of Rebecca Style Studio, and I'm an interior designer.
I'm Heather Watson. I help people understand value, possibilities, and the next chapter of a home.
And I'm Ellie Melville, professional organizer and founder of Straighten Up with Ellie. I help people create calmer, more functional spaces and systems.
And I'm Jamie Cicatiello. I offer intuitive guidance that helps people understand what they may be feeling, holding on to, and what they may be ready to shift in themselves and in their spaces.
Today, we are going to focus on Jamie and ask a question many people have quietly asked themselves. Why does my room or space feel off? Jamie is going to help us understand the emotional, intuitive side of the home, how our spaces can reflect the season of life we are in, and how small changes can help the home feel light.
Thank you, guys. I'm excited to get started.
I'm going to ask a question, Jamie. Okay, when you talk about intuitive home energy, what exactly do you mean?
So a lot of times, that's a really good question, actually. So the idea of being intuitive is that idea, it's just like, how are you feeling and what you're thinking, you know? So like when they say use your intuition on that. And as we are right now in society, we have really taken ourselves out of that. Mm-hmm. But also, when we do have intuitive feelings, a lot of times we're like, oh, that was lucky, you know, or like, oh, I mean,
but it wasn't lucky.
No,
it really are.
Yes, it was you listening to how you feel. Mm-hmm. So when you go into your home, you just kind of need to take that beat and say, how is my home feeling today? Every time I walk into my home, I take a beat, and this is what I do. I smell. Yes, I do. And then I see, and whatever I'm smelling tells me the energy of my home right then. Mm-hmm. And I don't have pets, you know, okay. But even when I did have pets, you know, sometimes I'd be like, oh my God, it's my dogs, you know, but sometimes when I go in, I'll smell like food. Okay. Sometimes I smell like flowers, right? It doesn't mean that they're actually there, but that's me checking the energy of the home.
Wow. Nice.
Love it.
Great.
That's great. So I have a question for you. Okay. How can a home hold on to emotion or reflect what somebody is going through?
So the way that, first and foremost, the way that what I believe is that there's a lot of energy. That energy is everything, you know, that we react to energy, we feel energy, and a lot of that can be unconscious, right? So your home is a breathing and living organism, right? And the things that we bring into our home, our cups, our glasses, you know, when we see those things, we're like, oh, I love this, right? Or, oh, my friend gave me this, right? Or my partner and I did this together, you know, or animals, all those things. So us speaking and being aware of what the energy is in the home and the things in the home. So if things change, you know, and it can be, you know, it could be a death, you know, it could be a divorce, or it could just be like,
yes,
you're ready to just kind of get stuff out, you know? And so when you're recognizing that energy needs to shift or change, that's when you act. So the way that the home can hold on to an emotion is just not being aware of where you are in that life. You know, like I remember like, and sometimes there's like beautiful things. Like I remember like visiting my grandparents' house, you know, like after they have passed. And I want that home to hold that emotion, you know, because it just feels good, you know. But there are times in our life when it is important to cleanse the home, right? Because it does hold that emotion. And it doesn't mean when we cleanse those energies and cleanse those emotions, it's not like they're gone forever. They've just been transmuted in order for us to open more space for us to live the life that we want to live instead of trying to fight that emotion that may be in our house. Now, if it's a good time emotion, you know, like you want to keep those good time emotions going on. So you just want to be aware of that. But again, it's that idea of being present and then asking your house, like, how do I feel in my house? Like, house, are you holding on to emotion? Okay. I talk to a lot of inanimate objects and they answer. So,
yeah. Fantastic.
Just try it. Yeah.
Wow. All right. I have a question. What are some signs that a home or a room may feel out of balance?
A very good sign is you feeling angry or irritated or super tired, not joyful. Okay, the energy in that room is out of balance. You know, every time you walk in that room and you go, that's also a sign. Okay.
And something needs to be changed.
So yes. And it could be, and it's just important. You're like, every time I walk in this room, I always have this feeling like, why is that? Right? Take a look around. You know, do we need to put our shoes in baskets? Right?
Yes.
I do that, by the way. Okay. Yes. I know. I was like, bring your or, you know, like, do I need to have more organization? Right? Or do I need to change the wall color?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do I need to, am I coming in here and I'm being blinded by the sun? You know, like, just different things that where you don't feel good. Or, you know, like if you were to come in, you know, and you might say, well, have you ever thought about doing this in your home? You know, like the space is this, you know, west direction or whatever, you know, this would be a great room to make into a office or whatever.
Right.
You know, so it's really important. Like when you go in your room and you're like, okay, well, that's a good sign that the energy is off, you know, because when you walk into a house and you walk into a room, you want to be like, hey, room, hello.
Yes.
Hello, room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I love you,
Yes.
room.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like every time I walk, every time I walk into my house,
Oh my gosh.
sniffing, but I'm also
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm so happy it's in my house.
Yes.
It sort of looks bananas right now.
Yeah, when you're at
Yes,
yes.
peace.
It's all about peace.
Yes, it really is.
So, okay. Well, I have a question.
Okay.
When you walk into somebody else's home, well, like, what is the first thing you notice when you walk into somebody else's home?
too.
I mean, I do.
Yeah, it could be.
No. I mean, I do.
Yeah.
I sniff, and I also notice if they have artwork up or not. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I love art. I do. But also, like, I notice, like, okay, they have a lot of artwork up.
Yeah.
I look to see, and I'm like, oh my God, am I a weirdo? But like, I look to see, like the books they have. You know, to me, that would give like a little bit of insight of the person, like if they really, not that they're interesting or not, because everyone has their own what they find interesting, but like, are they really reading these books, or did they go and find some books on sale to put in a bookshop?
Well, I do that, but I actually occasionally say, always pick a book you are willing to pick up and read.
Yes.
You know?
Because I want to see too, like, do they have coffee table books? You know,
Yes.
like, are they interested in these like photographs?
Exactly.
You know? So like when you go in there and you can like notice these things, because it's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
You know, oh, so I already got this piece of artwork. You know, they're like, oh, Kirkland's or whatever. You're like,
Focal points.
Yeah,
they're focal points.
right. You say like, and it smell like, what does it always smell like? And the potpourri.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Potpourri,
yeah,
yes.
it always smells like Christmas in there.
Yeah.
But like things like that. So those are the things because like if I go in and I'm like, smell something cooking.
You're
I'm
always
like,
going to smell that.
You
in my
are.
house.
Yeah.
you are. I need that address
You
again.
like to-
Yeah. But like these are the things you notice. But also like, and these are things you can start conversations off of, you know, like, and again, people's homes are really where they live, you know? So I'm not like, oh, they don't have their shoes in bed. You know, like, I'm not thinking that stuff, you know? I'm looking at things that I think they picked from the heart to make their house a home. Yeah, those are the things that I look at.
Absolutely.
And then something's cooking. My stay for dinner. That's the other thing.
There's always an option.
Okay, big.
Because I don't know how to cook small.
Heather.
How does your perspective work alongside ours? Design, real estate, organization. How does that all work together?
So
within the collective as a whole.
I think that's a really good question too, because you know, a lot of times we're like, what is this? You know, like, what are you doing? And I think that the way that I work with you guys is that all of you understand the idea of having that inner peace, you know, and the way that people get to that can be a different way. It could be they sell their home, or they find that perfect vacation property or a rental property, or some sort of property that makes them feel better, you know, the business property, or they get that peace because, oh, they're organized, you know, or they get that peace because they bring in the right sort of decoration, you know? And so having that understanding of that, it's all about getting people to that same direction of feeling joy every day.
Yeah.
You know, of having those quiet moments where you're like, this is, oh, can I share short? I'm going to share a story. Okay. It was on the way over here, and I was, you know, driving over here and all the kids are out of school. Okay, so there was these two little kids on a bicycle, and maybe like, I don't know, it's 5 and 7. I don't know. I'm not sure how old kids are. And so I was, driving up to them at the stop sign, and the little boy was like trying to get on the back. So I was like, oh, they must have been trying to like right tandem. So I waved at him, and then he waved back, and I smiled, and then he goes, oh, yeah. So I put my car in reverse, rolled down the window, went, and then we just smiled, the look of it. Thank you. Right. But those are those moments of joy, right? And how we get there is how we get there. And if you can bring that with you,
Right.
and one of the spaces we spend most of our time is in our house.
Yeah.
Right. Whether you're renting.
And that little boy lives in a very happy house.
I think so.
So
It's
happy.
love. Yeah.
Yeah.
It resonates.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
With everything.
if we can work together to bring that,
Yes.
because that is,
That's everything.
let me tell you, I got some lazy Susans the other day to organize my vitamins.
Right.
Changed my fucking life. I know. Sorry, I said idea. I mean, you do have an idea. But I needed to get them off the counter.
Yes.
I was like, this has changed my life.
my God. Yes.
Like, I was like, I need more.
$10.
Yeah. $10.
Yes.
And I was like, maybe they'll fit. I don't know. They were just like,
Yeah, I know.
thank you. Yeah.
How is this going?
And every day I look at that calendar and I'm like, thank you, Lazy Susan. Yeah. I don't call them a lazy Susan because they're not lazy.
They work.
They work like Susans. Like I said, call it that way.
Working Susan.
Working Susan.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to change the
Yeah,
name.
we're gonna
Yeah.
change the names right there. Yes.
Right.
So what are a few small changes someone can make when a room feels heavy, but they're not ready for a major project?
Okay, so if you're not ready for a major project, the first thing you can do is just admit to yourself, this room feels heavy. You know?
First step.
Yes.
That is definitely.
That is the first step.
That's the first step.
And there's different things you can do. I would tell the room, okay, room, we're going to change the energy in here. So let's do this together. And then I would ask, what are some things I can do? Right. And the room might tell you, open the blinds, lady. It could be something, I need some sunshine. Right. Or it could say, burn some sage or burn some incense. Right. And let me just tell you this disclaimer. If you're burning anything, please be responsible. Okay.
Yes, please.
Please, open flames, candles, hot things, be responsible. Okay. But also, like, one of the things that I do, and this is a true story, this just happened last week. Okay. Mardi Gras, you guys know we all get our little tambourines.
Yeah.
Okay. If you can go in there and shake that tambourine and tell it like you're breaking up the energy. Okay. And tell it to go. We're breaking this up. Okay, it goes. So last week I was shaking my tambourines. Maybe I had 3. Okay. Never do all that shake. Maybe. Okay. So maybe we started at the back of the house and moved to the front of the house because we thought our neighbors across the street were not in town. Okay. And maybe we opened the door and came in shaking those tambourines.
That's maybe.
And then they looked at me and I looked at them and their dogs started barking. And I go, oh man, I thought you guys were out of town. And she goes, no. And I go, just shaking my tambourine. And she goes, I didn't know with that. She went, I don't know, tambourine. Should I go continue? And then I just turned around and walked back inside and then slowly shut the door. Whatever. Okay, but it got done. Okay, I done? Yes. So it moved around the energy.
Yeah.
Which I do. But that's one way you could also use those
Tambourine.
Yeah. So Mardi Gras before you learn up. Yeah.
I love it. You learn something.
Yes.
Okay, and last question. Okay, how do you help someone recognize when they have outgrown a room, an object, or have an old version of their home? Like, how do you help them figure that out?
I tell them it's safe.
Cool.
Okay. I tell them it's safe. It's safe to outgrow things. Yeah. And it's perfectly normal to outgrow things.
Right.
Crabs, turtles. Yeah. We outgrow things. We outgrow clothes.
Yeah.
We outgrow friendships. We outgrow so many things. And just telling people it's safe to outgrow things. It's okay.
Right.
You're not wearing the same clothes you wore when you were 10.
You don't have to
No,
feel guilty
I
for
know.
growing.
Right.
As a search
Absolutely
Right.
not.
And maybe at one time you really wanted all this stuff. And now you're like, whoa, this is a lot. I don't want the stuff anymore. That's okay. You know, it's just because you maybe get rid of things or move this way doesn't mean you're going backwards. We're like sharks, you know, we still progress forwards. But at different times in our lives, we are just at different times in our lives, you know? And so we don't have to think like, but, you know, I really wanted this gold mug and now I don't want the gold mug, you know? And it's like, well, you just got through it. Whatever it meant to you at that time was really important.
Right.
You experienced
for
it.
that gold mug to be someone else's prize.
Right.
Yes.
You know, needs that energy in
Right.
Right. And it just keeps, it is that idea about like the energy just keeps moving, you know, it's never really lost. You can transmute things, but you want to understand, or I would say we would like to understand, like, it's important, like the energy just keeps moving, right? You know, I used to dye my hair crazy colors, like all the time. And I love that, you know, and now I don't.
I had that phase in your life.
My phase in my life.
Right.
Now I'm older. I get more grays.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yes.
like when you have like fire engine red and then like some gray, I was like, oh, you know, so we're going a little more natural, a little more natural, you know, you know, but like when I get like everything goes gray, then maybe we'll start doing the colors again, you know, and like, you know, the upkeep was hard. I had to wash my hair in cold water all the time.
Right.
And now I'm just not in that phase anymore. You know, that part of me that really loved it, it's still here.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just being translated or, you know, translated in different ways.
Yeah.
You know, and so because I want less maintenance when it comes to my hair, doesn't mean I'm still not going to have that, you know, fire, that passion, or like, oh, I love
Yeah.
like originality in there. It's just that it's coming out in a different way.
Yeah.
It's just, so it's okay. It's
Smart.
right.
We're growing all the time.
All the time. All the time.
Nope. That was wonderful, Jamie.
Thank you so much for all the questions.
I know. I think
Yeah.
that was just really great for our viewers to kind of understand just everything to do with energy in your home and how important it is. And sometimes
it's overlooked.
Yeah,
It is.
It's so overlooked.
Yeah. I agree. Because we just start paying attention to it, you know,
Right.
and like, and it doesn't take a lot to change it. Really,
No.
just the first, I got to change this, or we got to move this. I got to find tambourines, whatever. Yeah.
I'm trying to safely light some sage.
You're right. Right. Like we're only burning. All those things can really affect and get the energy moving in the right direction.
But our whole goal is what? Peace.
Yes.
Peace for everybody, right?
So thank you.
Harmony in our homes.
Is it Mr. Peace sign, right?
Yes.
Peace.
For that, for sure.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching NOLA Home and Harmony Collective. Until next time.
So much.
That's a wrap.